place for people in plants. It's Kenny's Place.
12 minutes now before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I just real quickly wanted to mention it again, that the prepaid college plan for parents of young children, and you want to prepare your children for college, the Florida prepaid plan starts tomorrow. It's open enrollment. It starts tomorrow. It lasts until the end of February. And bottom line is, if you have a child 2 years old, right? 2 years old?
Yes.
From anywhere from a newborn to 2 years, it'll cost you about $53 a month to pay for the entire tuition for 2 years of school. If you want to pay for the entire tuition of 4 years of school by the time that child is old enough to go to school, it's $114 a month. I think you can only use the money for Florida state schools. Is that right?
Yep. Universities.
Yeah, universities. But it is really a good plan. Go to myfloridaprepaid.com to learn more about that.
My brother has that. Now Aaron's 17, and he'll be graduating in 2 years, and his college is all paid for.
Well, good for him. That's a wonderful decision. Leigh Purvis is on the phone. She is going to tell us about another thing that starts tomorrow, I believe. It's the Medicare open enrollment. Every year we have this come up, and every year we have people with questions about this. So I am so glad we have somebody who can talk intelligently about it. Leigh Purvis is the Director of Health Services Research in AARP's Public Policy Institute. She's going to give us some tips and free resources to help compare Medicare plans to choose the best coverage. If you have any questions, you are invited. Well, I don't know if she's going to want calls. We have such a short interview, but we'll give you a website or something. Medicare open enrollment is tomorrow through December 7th. It's shorter than the amount of time for the prepaid college program. Leigh Purvis. Good morning, Leigh.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Everybody always has questions about this. Every year we get them, and as radio hosts, we kind of all we can really do is direct people to websites and books, etc. So, thank you for doing this. Happy to do it. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
Washington, D.C.
All right. Well, you're right where we need somebody to find out about this. So, is there anything different this year than the years past?
I think one thing that we should be pointing out is that there are a lot of differences in terms of plan costs. There are a lot of really expensive prescription drugs out there that are pushing up premiums and out-of-pocket costs, and that's part of the reason we're really pushing people to evaluate their plans this year.
Okay. And are we smart enough to do this on our own? And I hate to generalize all people, because I'm thinking I wouldn't be. I'm not quite that age yet, but I will be one day. And I don't know that I would need an expert or something, I think, to look at what I have.
I think people are more than capable of doing this. There's a lot of information out there, and there are a lot of people that want to help. So it's really just a matter of reaching out and finding the people with the information you need.
So now, people that have Medicare plans right now, how do they know if their plan is still going to be a good one, or if they should switch to something else?
Everyone who's currently enrolled in a plan should have received an annual notice of change, which really spells out how the plans are going to be changing their coverage in the following year. So it might be increasing their premiums, or changing what types of services are covered, or changing how much your out-of-pocket costs are.
And should people be wary about those insurance companies that say don't sign up for Medicare, sign up for us?
I think the best thing people can do is go to the publicly available sources of information. So the information that's available on Medicare.gov, or calling Medicare at 1-800-MEDICARE. And there are also services available in each state known as state health insurance assistance programs, and they have a lot of experience in helping people sort through their plan options.
So if somebody made the wrong choice last year and they're about ready to make a new choice this year, during the course of the year, did they have any red flags that made them realize, oh my gosh, I made the wrong decision, and they just had to wait it out?
Yes. For example, you could enroll in a plan and not realize that a service or a physician that you commonly visit is not covered by that plan. Or you might have a prescription drug and not realize that the out-of-pocket cost sharing for it is extremely high. There are a lot of different ways that you can kind of find yourself in a plan that doesn't quite meet your needs, which is why we really recommend checking out how things are covered for the services you need.
And when the deadline passes, we're out of luck, right? We have to wait again until next year?
That's right. You have to wait until the following year's open enrollment.
Oh, my goodness. At AARP, do you have some kind of literature or something that the people can either look at online or just go get a booklet or something?
Absolutely. We have a lot of resources available on our website at aarp.org/Medicare.
Is there anything that strikes you as being a biggie that we need to look at or pay attention to?
I think people definitely need to pay attention to their premiums. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of forces in the healthcare market that are pushing up premiums, and people can kind of leave a lot of money on the table if they aren't willing to reevaluate their options, because there are plans out there with lower premiums.
Does Obamacare affect the people on Medicare?
The Affordable Care Act primarily helped Medicare. It really produced a lot of savings that weren't expected, and they actually trickled down to the beneficiaries in the form of reduced costs for them.
Oh.
So okay, and nothing is retroactive, I'm guessing, right? If you take a plan, you can't have your prescriptions from last month paid for, right?
No, this is something that will, the new coverage begins on January 1st, so this is meant for the calendar year.
Okay.
So then the plan a person has right now, if they want to change, their plan will still be in effect through December 31st, and then the new plan will take effect on January 1st?
That's correct. And the people who decide not to switch plans, they will automatically just continue having coverage from the same plan.
Can I put the call out? Are you okay with phone calls from listeners?
Sure.
Okay, if we have anybody out there, and I know you all call here all the time asking us this information, usually about December 8th or something.
Yes.
Wait, when does this wrap up? Yeah, ask the questions now. And to tell you the truth, if you are more comfortable sitting across the desk, you might find somebody, maybe there's an AARP office here in Ocala that you could go to ask some questions. But this is a great time to ask Leigh Purvis the questions you might have about the Medicare open enrollment. So it starts tomorrow. Is this something we do online?
When you do choose a plan, yes, there is something available on Medicare.gov called a Plan Finder, and you can actually enroll through that website. You can also contact plans directly, so it's really a matter of how you would like to switch plans.
Let me ask you this. We live in a community where there is a lot of retired people who have also become very, very good at computers, and their children, their adult children who might be 60 years old, will come and visit them. So they're not, when I say children, they're not children. So they'll come down from Detroit or from Milwaukee or from New York or wherever, and they'll sit. So let's say, tomorrow, let's say mom gets on the computer and she signs up for this, and next week, the son, the 60-year-old attorney living in New York, comes down and says, "Oh, I want to help you sign up." And she goes, "Oh, I already did." And he looks at it and goes, "Oh, Mom, that's not the one." Can he undo it and put it back where it should be?
I believe there might be a grace period, and it's definitely something worth contacting the plan about that you've enrolled in.
Yeah, I could imagine that happening.
And now, if I want to go back to something you said earlier, if a person is on a Medicare plan right now, does it roll over to the 1st, or will it be ending on December 31st, and then they won't have a plan if they don't do a new one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. If you're already in a plan and you don't take any action, you automatically will rolled over in the following year. You won't have any disruption in service.
Oh.
So this is, okay, this is probably a question everybody knows the answer to, but so I'm asking this for me. How old do you have to be, 65?
The majority of Medicare beneficiaries are 65, but there are also some who have various disabilities who can get into the program sooner.
Okay.
And
so
can you be 62?
If you have one of the qualifying disabilities, yes.
Oh,
okay. But if somebody, so if you're 65 and you've never done it before, you're eligible to do it. If you don't do it, what are you, out of luck the whole year?
Open enrollment is once a year. So yes. On the other hand, there are kind of some nuances in there. Depending on when you become eligible for coverage, you do have a certain period of time to enroll. So it really depends on your personal circumstances.
Oh, okay.
Why is it just once a year, though? How come a person can say like you don't need it right now, and then all of a sudden in June you turn 65? You've got to wait till October before you can enroll?
No, if you turn 65 during the year, you have an open enrollment that's personal to you. So you can still get coverage.
Oh.
All right.
The open enrollment this year is primarily for people who are already enrolled. But when you personally turn 65 and become eligible, you will have your own opportunity to enroll regardless of the time of year.
For the listeners' sake, I want to make sure that we give them the information again. I know you mentioned it once, Leigh. The open enrollment for Medicare is tomorrow through December 7th, so it's not a long time. It looks like about 6 or 7 weeks, maybe.
That's right.
And so tomorrow's the day, and you can do it online, it sounds like. So this is something you really have to think carefully about, and to pick out the insurance plans that you're using. And Robin's question was an interesting one because it made me think, okay, if I go to my insurance agent, they might be trying to sell me something.
Right.
And maybe, I don't know. It's just, it does seem like we need a little guidance on this one.
And that is why we recommend going to Medicare.gov or going to your state health insurance assistance program, because they don't have any conflicted interest, and they should be able to give you very, very good information. Again, they have a lot of experience with this type of decision making. So
Medicare has different parts. They have the medical part, and then they also have the prescription part.
That's right. There are 4 parts of Medicare. It's a complicated program. There's Medicare Part A, which covers everything that you receive in the hospital. There's Medicare Part B, which covers the physician-related services. Medicare Part C is actually Medicare managed care, and it's actually part of the plans that we're talking about today. And Medicare Part D covers the prescription drugs that you pick up at the pharmacy.
And so do you need all 4 of those?
It depends on your personal circumstances. Of course, if you have Medicare coverage, you're going to have Medicare Part A. You're going to have, presumably, Medicare Part B. And you also are required to have Medicare Part D unless you have coverage from another source that's equivalent. So it really depends on what type of Medicare you're talking about.
Mm.
So a few years ago, or more than a few years ago, when this first started, I can remember the callers asking for an 800 number. You don't get that as much anymore. I think everybody's become a lot more savvy with computers.
Yeah.
But just for the sake of the person who may be asking that question, is there a toll-free number?
Yes, it's 1-800-Medicare, and that will reach a live person on the phone.
Okay, that is a good thing to know. Okay, 1-800-Medicare, and the website is aarp.org?
/Medicare, if you would like Medicare resources.
/Medicare. Okay, aarp.org/Medicare. Leigh, you have given a lot of information in a short period of time. Thank you so much for doing that. And we recorded this, so for the listeners, you can listen to it again later or share it with somebody. We'll put it up on Facebook as well as the WOCA YouTube page. Leigh Purvis, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. In the first Democratic presidential debate of this campaign,